There's a lot of people who go on cruises just to enjoy the food offerings on board their cruise ship. And a lot of times the food can actually dictate how good of a cruise you are on, because terrible food can give you a terrible impression of what else can actually be just as bad on board. But what about the foods that are kept secret? Well, that's what we will dive into today, because I feel there is still a lot left for you guys to explore on board when it comes to food. And as a crew member, we have all the access to the food and drink menus on board and know exactly what items are truly the rarest that many passengers either they do not know about, or items that are rarely ever ordered or found on a cruise ship menu. So in today's video, I will share with you, based on my opinion, the top items of food or drink that are rarely ever ordered or found on board cruise ships. So keep watching if you want to know what they are. Just before we continue though, I would highly appreciate it if you could just hit that subscribe button below, as I will continue to bring you the valuable information, tips, tricks and advice you will need for a successful vacation. So make sure you please do us both a favor and become a supporter of the channel. It costs nothing. Alright, let's continue. Now, the first thing that I should mention is that cruisers of all types have different requirements for what they prefer for their meals. Some may even have dietary requests, so you should keep in mind that some of these items I mentioned here may not be particularly interesting for you to try for your next cruise, but at least you will know what they are just in case you may change your mind. So the first item on this list is going to fall into the drink category, and it is going to be one of the best things you should try whenever you are on board your cruise, and that item is going to be the Caribbean coffee. If you are a coffee drinker, or even if you only like to have your coffee to be in mild moderations, then you can certainly request on board to try the Caribbean coffee. Bear in mind though that not all cruises will have this special item, but a lot of cruises that I've worked for do keep a stash of this as secret, especially if you are sailing through the Caribbean. But what if when you ask for this rare drink on board they do not have it? What you can do is ask the barista or whoever is making your drink is the request for a spiked Caribbean coffee. This way you can taste the flavors of the Caribbean inside of your coffee. But this all depends on the time of day you ask for this, as having spiked coffee in the early morning is not preferred by a lot of people. But if you are that type of cruiser that goes by the motto of any time is fun time on board, then you can go ahead and give the spiked coffee a try. What the barista will do is add some delicious Caribbean Jamaican coffee liqueur and a dash of spice rum to your drink, but you can build it to however you would like it. So if you would want to have some sprinkles of cinnamon, nutmeg or any other spices, then you can request for this as well. Or if all you want is just the flavors of the coffee spice liqueur without the added rum, then you can also request for this as well. The next rare item that is hardly ever requested on board isn't actually something unknown, but it isn't ordered a lot by cruise ship passengers. What this specific food is known for is its delicious taste, but it can also be expensive as well, especially if it isn't included in your inclusive meal and dining packages. And what I'm talking about is the French specialty known as foie gras. Foie gras is a soft texture buttery-like piece of meat when cooked to perfection. It is mainly from goose or duck liver, and a lot of guests who try this type of food always says it's delicious. It can also be made into a sauce to go along with your main course or side dishes. And if you haven't tried this rarely ordered delicacy on board before, then you should make sure you go ahead and add it to your list of things that you will try on your next cruise. The next rare item that a lot of guests on board cruises do not know about is the fact they can get at breakfast time freshly baked and warm banana bread. Ooh. You see guys, because this item isn't requested a lot on board, it seems it is further being diminished away from the casual breakfast service. So what cruise management will do is make adjustments to what is offered based on its popularity. So in that case, you will most likely see less and less of banana bread being served on board. So if you don't want banana bread to be completely removed from the breakfast service, then make sure you guys start ordering it more frequently then. Or else, if it hasn't already happened on some cruise ships, then it will no longer be available on board unless you make a special request for it. Alright, now the next rare food item isn't actually a food item per se, or is it rare to the point no one knows about it? But it is rare in the sense that it isn't ordered or requested for by a lot of passengers. The few who do order this item only do so in limited portions and have it mostly as some sort of delicacy. I guess by now you have an idea of what I'm talking about, but if you don't, then I am actually talking about caviar. But wait, Let me explain why this is the case, because some of you right now are probably saying that this isn't necessarily a rare item, but it actually is in the sense of how often it is ordered on board cruise ships, and it all depends on the type of cruise you are sailing. Example, for those who prefer to sail on all-inclusive luxury type expensive cruise, then you may have the benefit of having caviar as much as you would like. But for some cruises that are more on the family budget scale or not fully inclusive, may see upcharge for having caviar requested on board. So this is why it is rare in the sense of it depends on the type of cruise you are on, and rare in the sense of how often it is ordered. Caviar is expected to be on every cruise ship, but it is brought out only on special events, requests, or for certain types of meals. Another food item you will rarely ever see on board a cruise ship is actually quite easy to make. What makes it a really rare item to have on board that will have everyone else turning their head and asking you, where did you get that and what is that, is either the truffle fries or the fried potato wedges. So you see, these items are easy and not complicated to make, but everyone on board always stick with getting and ordering the regular style the fries. That it's starting to become a bit boring now. And why go on a cruise if you're not going to explore with what you eat? Plus, I think we all know by now that cruise ship food are majority of the time very safe to consume. So why not just take advantage of all the little things you can enjoy in your vacation, including the endless food and drink options available to you. As crew members, we have some form of familiarity with special cases where you can get your fries done in certain special ways, but it's pretty much kept secret and not really known by a lot of passengers. So you can go ahead and thank me for sharing this information with you guys. You are very welcome. And next time you are on board, promise me that you will trade your old boring fries order for either some potato wedges or some delicious truffle fries. You're gonna love it. Now, the next rare item that guests do not order on board, just because they do not simply know that it exists, is a spirit that is actually used in drinks for the cruises that I've worked on. It is either complimentary or a part of your drink packages, but in some cases, depending on your cruise, it may be an upcharge as well. And this rare item I am speaking about is known as mezcal. Mezcal is a Mexican spirit made of agave, which is similar to the taste of tequila, but with a more smoky tone and smoky vibes. Mezcal in some cases will only be used in certain specialty drinks, but if it is something included in your package, then you will want to make sure by chatting with the bartender and asking them what spirits are included for your drinks package. You would be surprised to know you may be missing out on having mezcal as part of your drinks just because you simply didn't know about it or inquired about your drink package. When you think about it though, many times the foods on board are rare just because not a lot of passengers know they are available, or they could just be served in limited portions. But just knowing these small things can really help to boost the way you enjoy your cruise. If you've enjoyed the information from this video, I am not asking you to leave a like and comment down below if you've ever had the pleasure of trying any limited or rare foods on board your cruise, or tell me some of the items you wish that they had served on board. Also, watch my next video that you may see here on the screen. It's Onik, your cruise employee, and I'm out.